Bitcoin opened the week and dropped 10%. But this is totally fine. That's exactly what I'm breaking down for you in today's video, because we were already preparing for that drop since last week, which, guess what, the price came back down into the order block at around 86,000 level with aggressive liquidity sweep from the downside, and now already started to recover. On top of that, we are going to check some key crypto charts such as Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and Zcash. Crucial price setups and the most relevant market news you need to stay ahead. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and check out some of my recent uploads. Now let's jump straight into the core of today's content. After the Bitcoin price broke below the 50 weekly moving average, we are under the context of a bear market. But the price cannot simply continue to go down indefinitely. It has to do some sort of correction. And after we had already the confirmation of both the daily and the weekly cycle low, we can start to see already some move to the upside. On the daily time frame, the RSI already started to recover and the DSS already started to cross over. So right now I'm expecting a fractal similar to what we had in April, a double bottom before we continue to go higher. I cannot tell you for sure how higher we can go, but I do know that we are going to retest at least the 50 weekly moving average. And if we go back in April, the time interval between both bottoms was at around 32 days, which would make the second bottom at around December, the end of December. However, as you know, in the markets, we cannot tell for sure when it is going to be exactly the second bottom. However, what I do expect is that the second bottom will not get lower than the previous bottom from the end of November. And in order to keep track of how higher we can go from now, we are going to still take a look at the M2 global liquidity, which started to give some signs of recovery to the upside, but I see that the M2 growth and borrowing rate has dropped sharply, which makes me extremely concerned. If we do not recover the M2 rate to the upside quickly, this means that the price will not do a strong correction to the upside, but instead we will continue to drop lower. In addition to that, I also see that gold continues to go higher. It is struggling, however, to get to the next all-time high compared to what we had at around October and November. So it seems like gold price is losing momentum. And when that happens, I actually expect the price of gold to go back down on the daily cycle window and continue further down through 2026. And if the price of gold continues to go down, we can expect some recovery to the upside for Bitcoin. Another bullish signal that I'm keeping my eyes on is the Dixie, which continues to trend down since last week, and we can expect it continue to go further down. More bullish scenario started to be shown on the ETF inflow. We already have some inflows right here since the sudden drop of last week. So the behavior is quite similar to what we had in April, a sudden drop on the ETF outflow, some recovery, and then we expect some more inflow for the upcoming weeks. And that's exactly what I'm hoping for the following weeks as well. And it seems like that we already starting a turning point to the upside. We have Visa, who has integrated stablecoin payments. That means mainstream Rails adoption, simplifying the on and off ramps, increasing trust and usage in crypto payment flows. We also have liquidity efficiency. Stablecoins becoming the payments grade reduces friction for entering Bitcoin. However, news such as the credit application rejection brings awareness that we may not reach an aggressive all-time high. This is because consumer stress is rising. Weak credit conditions can suppress risk appetite in broader markets. It also confirms what I have been saying for a couple of weeks already, a recession signal. The government hiding data makes my tinfoil head quite tight. This situation makes the macro fear being delayed or limited inflows in Bitcoin despite the cycle low that we just had. And although we may have some Fed easing, the macro condition of the economy may not bring more inflow to crypto. In the meantime, Japan slashes crypto taxes to a flat 20% on gains. This could bring capital migration incentive. Traders and firms may reallocate activity toward Japan, bringing more boost towards liquidity. It also brings more regulatory clarity. Lower friction and predictable taxation increases long-term crypto adoption. Meanwhile, the price of gas continues to go down in the US. Lower gas prices usually means lower inflation pressure, easing the Fed's instance, and markets may start to price in eventual rate cuts. It also improved consumer sentiment. More disposable income supports risk assets. This is also a good timing after some cycle low, bringing more a macro stability narrative, as opposed to the credit application rejections. We also may start to see some liquidity turn. Although the easing didn't start already, but markets can start to price in the liquidity tightening stoppage that starts today. It also is the perfect timing, aligning with the fresh cycle low, forming a potential catalyst for sustained leg up. We also have Vanguard allowing clients to buy crypto ETFs. This is a new distribution channel. We can expect sometimes even a 0.5 to 1% allocation from Vanguard clients, creating meaningful inflows. It also opens crypto access to conservative and retirement-focused investors. So the tightening of the credit environment, in my opinion, is going to be a little bit delayed this year. I believe the markets are going to speculate on the bullish sentiment, given the fact that we are not releasing economic data for the Fed and for the general public. So our long position here on Bitcoin is already developing, and we expect the price to recover to the upside pretty quickly. Most liquidity has been taken on this region, so I believe that we have much more interesting cluster right here on the upside, and that's gonna bring the price up. Also take into account that we already have reached the extreme fear level on the fear greed index, and we already started to recover to the fear level. Ethereum also did not cross the 2,600 level. It started to recover to the upside to 2,900, where I expect the price to get some liquidity into this region, and then we will continue to go down. In order for the context to continue to be bullish, we have to recover this level right here quickly. Otherwise, my context for Ethereum will switch bearish. XRP, similar to Bitcoin, already crossed the order block, got some liquidity sweep from this side, and my target will be at the 2.5. Solana is still holding above the 122 level, but the context is quite bearish. RSI just recovered from the 30 level, and I'm expecting Solana to get as further up to the 155 before continue the bear market. Our Zcash position continues to trend down, RSI being heavily pulled to the downside, so no major updates here for Zcash. But now I want to hear you guys in the comments. Do you think this was the local bottom and now we're going to reach much higher prices? Perhaps this was the top and now we're going to continue to trend down? Just let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching.